Tia Porter, and this is our Erie. On today's episode, we're learning more about the history of a local tattoo shop, stopping by a local gym for a bite to eat, and winding down with the drink of the week. So stick around because all that and more is happening right now on our Erie. Great tattoos start with something simple, a safe, comfortable space where everyone feels welcome.
So we opened Sakura Tattoo at the beginning of this year, so January 1st, after I decided to make a change from my last tattoo studio named Andromeda Studios. We had that studio for about 7 years, and at the beginning of the year, after we decided to move locations, I just felt like it was the right time to make the name change as well. Sakura in Japanese means cherry blossom, and every year they celebrate a cherry blossom festival representing new beginnings, new life, new change of season, and just with everything in my life going on, I was kind of ready for that new change of season.
And just like the meaning behind the cherry blossom, every tattoo here starts with a fresh idea, then becomes something uniquely personal.
We definitely do have our own pre-made designs, but ultimately we want to design something that's custom for the client. So I think having a space where you can bring your art ideas to us and we can make that come alive is really important, especially if we can do it in a very calm, inviting space.
It's all about collaboration and helping each client find the right artist for their vision.
Well, I would say that we all do a little bit different styles in art. I think that between the four of us, we're all capable of pretty much anything that you would like to get, That being said though, we always recommend having a consultation if you're unsure, and we can give you our feedback. And if we don't feel like we are the best person for the job, then we definitely probably know who is.
And beyond the art, Leslie says creating this studio has always been about something bigger.
Opened my studio originally to give a safe place for a lot of people, to give a calm, inviting atmosphere, and then in turn I started teaching other women how to tattoo. And so I think from where I started 12 years ago to now, we have a lot of other women tattooers, not only in Erie, but in other areas. And it's been really, really cool to see so many young women getting into this craft.
Tattoos are more than just art. They can also be a powerful part of someone's healing journey. And for some people, a tattoo becomes the next chapter in their story.
So I'm very passionate about offering the post-mastectomy nipple tattooing. It's a process in which we recreate 3D looking nipples for people who have gone through post-mastectomy type of tattooing, who have lost their breasts, who have undergone reconstruction. I really love offering these services because as a woman, I know how important it is to kind of feel like a woman, feel like yourself again. These women that come in are been through so much, and if I can give them a little piece back of, themselves in the process of everything they've been through, that's really why I do it.
Moments like that are a big part of why Leslie says she fell in love with tattooing in the first place.
When I found tattooing, it was amazing to me that I could do my art and people would appreciate it, and that it would last forever, Definitely a little scary when you think about it in those terms, but I love that I get to work with different people every day. I love that I get prompts, if you will, from people every day. And the fact that they trust me enough to be able to put something permanent on them forever, is really special.
And along the way, those tattoos often turn into meaningful connections with the people who wear them.
You really get to know each other through that process. And so I get an understanding of why they're getting this tattoo and how important it is for them. And so when you're done with it and they look at it and they're emotional or excited or happy, you can't help but feel the same, just excitement for them. So that's really fun to see, and that's not something you're prepared for before you start the journey of tattooing, but it's one of the more rewarding parts for sure.
And while the studio is typically appointment only, the team is making it even easier for people to stop by soon.
We have decided at the beginning of April we're going to be doing walk-ins every single Saturday from 12 to 5.
From new beginnings to meaningful moments, Sakura Tattoo is ready to help tell your story. To learn more, call 814-490-0833 today. Today, we're celebrating National Working Moms Day, And it's a perfect moment to give a huge shout out to the woman who somehow managed to do it all. Between the early mornings, packed lunches, school drop-offs, meetings, deadlines, homework, dinner, and bedtime routines, you somehow find the energy to do it all again the next day. And it's not easy, but it deserves to be recognized. So today is about saying thank you. Thank you for the sacrifices, the multitasking, the late nights, and the endless love you bring every single day. If you're a working mom watching today, we see you and we celebrate you. And if you know one, a partner, sister, friend, or colleague, take a moment today and tell her she's doing an amazing job. Happy Working Moms Day to all the amazing moms out there.
Big dreams begin with small steps, and for Little Dance Studio, those first steps were taken nearly 100 years ago, during a challenging time in history by a young woman with a passion for dance.
Catherine Little, during the Great Depression, at the age of 16, dropped out of high school and started teaching lessons out of her parents' piano room.
What began as a few lessons in a family piano room quickly became something much bigger, growing alongside the community and finding new homes as each generation of dancers took the floor.
After she started the studio in her piano room, many years went by, and then she moved to North Park Row, where they stayed for many, many decades. And then just about in the early 2000s, they moved to this plaza, Plaza 9, and that's where we've been ever since.
And while the studio continued to grow and evolve, it was quietly shaping the lives of dancers inside it, especially one little girl who would one day be trusted to carry the legacy forward.
I started my dance training as a little girl, and it developed into one day becoming an onstage assistant, which are the dancers who get to be classroom assistants, and then they're the ones that demonstrate in front of the little ones. And then I loved that so much that Sandra, one of the founders, invited me to teach my first class at the age of 16, which was terrifying. But she believed in me and she saw something, and all these years later, it's just come full circle that I get to be the one to continue their legacy.
But Amanda's journey wasn't shaped by dance alone. It was shaped by the people who believed in her, supported her, and showed her what this studio truly stood for.
As a little girl, I always looked up to Sandra. She was a mentor of mine from a very young age. My sister, at the age of 16, had a heart transplant, and so Sandra kind of took me under her wing, same with Catherine, and for the duration of my sister's journey in and out of the hospital, they actually covered my tuition for free so that I could continue doing what I loved and still have that purpose and value in myself when everything around me, was uncertain. The dance floor, it was always there.
Catherine Little's influence reached far beyond the studio, and for Amanda, those moments when Catherine stepped into the spotlight were truly unforgettable.
At the end of our productions, she would come on stage and it was just her moment to shine. It wasn't a big dance piece that she would do, but it didn't matter because even though she was the size of just this little petite woman, her presence was just bigger than life. She was so memorable. She was always classy, always elegant, and she just made an impression when she entered the room. She demanded your attention, your respect, but she was always kind and so generous.
Watching that kind of grace and leadership left a lasting impression on Amanda, shaping not just how she danced, but who she hoped to become one day.
It's always such a question that every young lady and young man is asked, what do you want to do when you grow up? Well, who do you want to be? And it's just something that I knew, not necessarily right out of high school, but I knew one day I would own a dance studio. It just made sense to me, and it's just part of who I am from the time I was just a little tiny tutu myself. I just knew that's what I wanted to do, to make an impact on the community and to have my legacy, and hopefully one day even my daughters can continue to fill in my shoes.
Turning that lifelong dream into reality meant leaning on family, and together, they built something truly special.
My dream became a reality hands down because of my two partners in Shine, which are my mom, Dara, and my dad, Mark. They're my business partners. Without them, all that you see today would not be. I came to my mom, who was a preschool teacher for 2 decades, and I asked her if she would retire to come run my studio. And along the way, my dad got roped in too. And they run the office and I run the studio, and it's just such a beautiful partnership.
From the office to the studio, Little Dance Studio is built on connection, care, and treating every student like part of the family.
We deeply care about every single dancer that walks in the door. You're not just a number to us, you truly are part of our Little Dance fam. And it's not just a gimmick that we say. We know you, and chances are we know your mom, your dad, and probably your grandparents too. We make it a point to be very intentional of connecting with each and every individual that comes into our studio.
And at the heart of the studio is a mission that goes beyond steps and routines.
Our mission statement is building confidence and character through the love of dance, and that's exactly what we do. The values and the lessons that are taught on the dance floor go way beyond what they learn when they leave us here. And most of our students, when they leave, they always come back. It might not be right away, but it could be 5 years later or even 10, but they always remember that this is their dance family, and they're always welcome back.
It's a place where every child is seen, supported, and nurtured, where even the tiniest dancers are welcomed with care and guided with love.
Sometimes it can be a little intimidating or a little scary. You're dropping off your 2 or 3-year-old, even though we do start at the age of 1, and you're entrusting us with their dance education. And something that I tell every family is we love your son and your daughter just like we do our own, and we treat them exactly as so.
Their dedication hasn't gone unnoticed. Little Dance Studio was honored with Erie's Choice Award, a recognition of the passion, care, and heart poured into every single class.
Winning Erie's Choice Awards, we are so humbled and so honored. It's such a pristine privilege that we don't take lightly. Winning the award is a testament not only to my partners, which I've already mentioned, my mom and dad, but to my faculty. They put their heart and soul into their classes. Their passion just radiates off of the dance floor and into their students. It's something that it can't be replaced.
From humble beginnings to a century of teaching, Little Dance Studio is marking 100 years of inspiring dancers, building community, and celebrating every step along the way.
And it's something that you just have to experience, especially for our 100th season. If you want to dance now, this is definitely the year. So 100 is just going to be big and very sparkly. The biggest amount of joy entering our diamond anniversary, celebrating 100 years, we're calling it our century celebration, is seeing old dancers who were with us from years ago come back because they simply couldn't imagine missing out on such a huge season.
This Diamond Anniversary celebration honors the past and looks forward to the future.
I just wanted to carry on Catherine and Sandra's legacy to the best of my ability, while also integrating some little sprinkles here and there of Miss Amanda.
Big dreams begin with small steps, and they all start right here at Little Dance Studio.
If I could look up to the heavens and see Catherine and Sandra looking down, I hope they would just simply say, "I'm so proud of you."
A century of dancing, a legacy of love, and a community that feels like family. The Little Dance Studio isn't just a place to learn to dance, it's a place to belong. The Little Dance fam is waiting for you. Call 814-459-6504 today.
We're here at Mound Golf Course for some great food, a great atmosphere,
and a little bit of local history just for you. Mound Grove Golf Course isn't just a place to grab a bite to eat or play a round of golf. It's a place filled with history, heart, and family tradition right here at home.
Mound Grove is in the heart of Erie County. It's a beautiful old barn and homestead. The barn itself was built in 1860, and it housed a lot of different responsibilities over the years. You know the old adage, if the walls could talk. They turned it into the restaurant and golf course in 1993.
And that legacy only continued to grow when the Bible family stepped in, bringing new energy while honoring the past.
In 2018, my husband and I took on the business, and we just started spreading our wings and turned it into a very family-focused business. So we have our, as you can see this time of year, snowmobile family. We have our golf family, we have our wedding families, we have our soccer families. We have our people that do events. So this building has seen a lot of different energy, a lot of different action, and it's all about heart and family.
When you walk inside, you can truly feel the authenticity. It's a space that has evolved over generations while still preserving its original charm.
I think just the history of it, there's not many places you can go to that have this much authenticity. The barn itself is over 6,400 square feet. It's 60 foot tall. It's the real deal. It's been here for a long time. This side was all potatoes. That side was all dairy cattle. And to turn something like that into an active restaurant, it speaks volumes to young people. They don't get to see that very often.
The story of the homestead stretches back more than a century, rooted in hard work and family tradition.
The homestead was started by a gentleman named Jesse Coover. He and his wife Sophia moved here, and they built the Italianate homestead up there. He was in the sawmill business, and there were 6 sawmills from here to Waterford, from what I understand, and this was the most north. They had 3 children. One had passed early on, but the other one moved to Hollywood, and then the third one was Fred, who owned this farm. And in 1921, it was sold to our family, the Bibles. So it's been in the family over 100 years, which is pretty impressive. Not a lot of places can say that.
While history is at the heart of Mound Grove, the menu is what keeps guests coming back week after week.
Potatoes matter because of the history, so we do have the fresh cut fries, we do fresh cut potato chips. We have every Friday a fish fry, which has been popular from the last 10 years. I don't think we've stopped making fish every Friday. We do a prime rib special as well on Friday, and then every day we do a daily special, so meatloaf Mondays, taco Tuesdays. Wednesday we do stuffed peppers. Thursday we do ribs and chops. And then Saturdays we do short ribs and sirloins. And then on Sunday just your casual pizza and wing special.
From comfort food classics to Friday favorites, there's something special happening here every single day, even on the weekends.
We'll do a brunch once a month on a Sunday. We do acoustic music during the weekends that allows people to come in and relax and chat. The beautiful part of Mound Grove is that everybody who's coming in here is celebrating something. So whether it's just a dinner with the neighbors or a get-together for someone's birthday, we have reunions, we have bridal showers, baby showers. The weddings, of course, are only during the summer, but we do host some smaller weddings during the year. But it's always a celebration.
That spirit of celebration extends beyond the barn walls, with events that give back to the community throughout the year.
We host about 4 events that are really special to us throughout the year. We do one with Make-A-Wish, we do one with the Shriners, we do one with the veterans for Teed Up for Troops, and then we do one for Hope on Horseback. So this year we're expanding a little bit and doing one with the Anna Shelter.
And of course, it wouldn't be Mound Grove without the golf, offering a course that keeps players coming back year after year.
The front 9 was mostly the open area, and it's a little wider, and some of our golf family love that more. The back was carved out of the woods, so it's a little tighter and a little more unique, so it's like playing 2 different courses anytime you play here. We do have a driving range that is open and available throughout the year. We also are the home course for both the boys and girls of Fort LaBeouf, so Future of Golf is here ready and playing, which is fantastic.
No matter the celebration you're looking to have, Mound Grove has it covered. Visit 10760 Donation Road today.
It's that time of week again, where we pause, sip, and discover something new. This week, we're at Cellar 54 to discover our drink of the week. Let's pour something worth savoring.
Our Erie's Drink of the Week is sponsored by Beer and Pop Discount Warehouse.
The Beer and Pop Discount Warehouse, yeah!
Hello, my name is Bo Coletta. We are here at Cellar 54, and our featured drink of the week is our Goddess. This Goddess is a dry Concord. It is a red wine. It's at 4% residual sugar, so on the pendulum it is actually a semi-dry wine, but in the scale of Concords, this one is on the drier end. This one pairs very well with red sauces, spaghetti dishes, things of that nature, and a caprese salad. Pairs perfectly well with this Goddess wine.
Our Erie's Drink of the Week is sponsored by Beer and Pop Discount Warehouse.
The Beer and Pop Discount Warehouse, yeah!
From checking out some forever art to rewarding ourselves with a much-deserved drink of the week, these are the people and the places helping make our community shine. Thanks for spending time with us. I'm Tia Porter, and we'll see you next time on Our Erie.